Guys, please, this is our Natalie Bray'S table. Well, it's going to be very important in the course of drafting this pattern. Please save and screenshot. And the red lines that are highlighted on one of the columns are the measurement I'll be working with.
Okay guys, first off, we are going to use 0.5 inch to draw the borderline vertically and horizontally. We would measure out and join the lines together. Please always make sure you draw your lines smooth and neatly. Okay, we'll draw out and match up the lines vertically. Then we also use 0.5 inch to draw our borderline horizontally. Okay, as you can see here, I'm carefully marking out 0.5 at the sides of the paper to draw our borderline for the horizontal. Matching it up carefully so it can come out, we can have a smooth and neat lines, guys. On the horizontal line, you come down by 3 cm, not inches, cm, to get your point O. We mark out and label point O. This point O, we refer to the table to always check our point O. Then after, we go down with a constant of 3 cm. When I say constant, it doesn't change. We go down with a constant of 3 cm from point O. Okay, we measure out from point O. We mark out and label the SP, which is also called the shoulder point. Okay. Now, our next measurement, we're going to measure out 22.5 from point O, which is going to be our bust point, our BP. So please always refer back to Natalie Bray'S table to get your precise bust point, your bust measurement. So over here from point O, we will measure down 38 cm to get our waist point or waist length. I won't be needing my small ruler anymore. I'll make use of my longer ruler like this. But if you don't have a long ruler like this, a tape rule is okay. So from point O, we measure down 38 cm to get our waist point or waist length. We measure down and we mark out. Then we label that point WP, which is our waist point or waist length. The next thing to do is to get our hip point, that's our HP, okay? But we don't start from point O. Instead, we start our measurement all the way from our waist point. Using a constant of 22 cm, we place our ruler on WP, our waist point, and measure down 22 cm. Please, the constant, guys, it doesn't change. That's how we get our HP. We mark out and label HP, our hip point. Please always label your work. Okay guys, so now we are done with all the vertical measurement. We now move over to the horizontal measurement. First, we go over to the point O. According to the table, neck width is 7.5. Then we mark it out on point O. We mark it out horizontally. We mark out 7.5 on point O and draw out. We will label here neck width, okay? Now for the SP, we just draw out a random line, horizontal line out. So as I said, we just draw out a random line with no specific measurement yet on SP. Okay, we go ahead now and do the same on BP, our bust point. We just draw out a random horizontal line. So we place our ruler and draw out horizontally on BP, okay? So the next thing to do, guys, is to label our line, our SP. We label the line shoulder line. Then on our BP, we label this line bust line, okay? Now we go over to our WP, which is our waist point. So I place my ruler and draw out. Here, it doesn't have an accurate measurement. We just draw out all the way to the front side of the paper. Using my long ruler, I'm going to be extending our waist point horizontally all the way to the front bodice, where the front bodice is going to be drawn. Okay? Okay, now I will label here our waist line. Okay, our waistline. So let's do a little recap. Okay, I said at point O we extend by neck width of 7.5, SP extend randomly, BP extend randomly, then WP extend all the way to the front. Okay, now we go back to our HP. For HP line, we say hip divided by 4. Whatever you get, you draw it out and mark it out. Okay, my hip is 0.06 divided by 4, which is 26.5. Then I measure it. So mark out and draw out. And we'll label here hip line. Now, so this part we're about to do, I call it the extras here. Okay, first, on the neck width, we'll extend upwards by 2 cm and mark and draw out. It's a constant, guys. 2 cm is a constant. We extend and draw out. Okay. So another extras we have to insert here is our backline. Yes. So how do we get backline? We say distance between point O and BP divided by 2, or the distance of point O and our BP, half the distance between point O and our BP. Okay. So I place my ruler on point O and BP, that's the bust point, and mine is, the distance is 22.5, half of it, which gives me 11.25. I mark out. Okay. Okay, I'll label here BP, which is going to be our back point. Now our back point is going to help determine an accurate measurement for our SP and also our bust point. Okay. Now this back point can actually be seen on Natalie Bray'S table, or either you get somebody to measure you accurately for you to be able to get an accurate measurement. So I prefer you get someone to measure your back for you. So my back is 40. I'll say 40 divided by 2. Yes, anything you get on your back, you divide it by 2. Okay. But if you want to use the measurement on the table, it's fine. But I prefer the one you measure from the body. So then we measure out our 20 cm and we'll label it as back point. Okay. Now, whatever we get on our back line, we'll make sure we measure it on the bust line and also on the shoulder line. So our shoulder line, we have 20. We'll measure out 20 on our shoulder line, and we also measure out 20 on our bust line. Please, let's be reminded how we got 20 was our back divided by 2. My back is 40 divided by 2, which is 20. So we go ahead to merge the lines together by drawing a straight line to connect this dot together. So we've connected the lines. This actually helps us to draw our armhole. And that extra now is going to be on the bust line, which is extending by backup line. Yes, we'll extend our bust line out with backup line. Now, according to our table, backup line varies. According to my measurement on the table, my backup line is of 6 cm. So I'm marking out 6 cm. Okay. And then I'll label the line as backup line. Please guys, always label your work. It makes things easier for you whenever you're working. Okay, so I've extended my line, I've labeled it, and that extra now is on the SP. We're going to extend by 2 cm constant. Please, extending out by 2 cm constant. Okay, So I place my ruler and extend by 2 cm. Then I go over to ahead to connect to the 2 cm upwards on the neck width. So I connect these two lines together, these 2 points rather together. Okay, after we've done that, there's another extra which is on the back line. This time we are not extending horizontally, instead we're extending out vertically. Our extra is going to be vertical. That's going down by 3 cm constant, guys. Please, this helps us get a very accurate armhole. So I'll measure down 3 cm constant. Please, anytime I say constant, that means the number doesn't change. Okay, as you can see, this will help us draw a very nice curve for our armhole. But before that, we have to connect our bust line or backup point down to our hip line. Okay, so I place my long ruler. And I draw out. Okay, after we are done applying all the extras, I'm matching up the backup line to the hip line. Now it's time to draw the curve. As you can see, these points help us to draw the curve smoothly. Yeah, and I'm going to be using my rusty old curve. There are different type of curve actually, but I prefer this type because it works well for me. So I'm going to place it on this point and try and match it up so the curve can come out perfectly well. Okay, so I'm adjusting it to get a good angle so I can start drawing. Okay, can you see how smooth my curve is? Can you see? Now that's the essence of the extras. But I can place my curve ruler to blend it well. Okay, this curve now came out actually perfect. Okay, now we move over to draw the neck curve. The neck curve now doesn't have to be deep because it's the back neck curve. It has to just maybe not too shallow, not too deep. So I place my curved ruler and make sure I don't make my neckline here to go in too deep. Okay, this is a perfect curve for the back neckline. Yeah. Okay, so we are done with this back bodice for now. We will still come back to it, but we are moving over to the front bodice on the other side of the paper. Okay, so I will label here back bodice. Are you seeing it, guys? So you don't get confused. This is my back bodice. Then now it's time to move over to the other side of the paper to start drawing the front. So now we are done for the back bodies for now. We now move over to the front. So we gently drag our paper forward. Okay, we drag it easily and gently. Now the first thing to do at the front bodies is to get the point O. Okay, remember at the back we started the point O. For the back point O, we started it directly from the borderline, went down by 3 cm depending on your measurement or what your table reads. Okay, so now back to the front side, we don't do that. Instead, our point O starts straight from the borderline. Okay, from this point, this is where our point O is starting from. So I take my marker and I label that out. I'll call it point O. Okay, now, the next thing now is to do is to come down from point O with a constant. Now, this constant is depending on your size. If you're on a slim size, you go down by 4.5 cm, but if you're on a big size, you go down by 4 cm constant, guys. So, hope you all understood what I was trying to say. You go down with a constant depending on your size. So, I place my ruler and I'll mark out 4.5 cm because I'm using an average. The size I'm using, the measurement I'm using is of average size. So I mark out 4.5. So that's it. Now, another thing to do is from this point O, from our point O here, we go down with another constant. Now, it's also depending on if you're in a slim or big size. If you're on a slim size or average size, we go down by 7.5, but if you're on a big size, we go down by 8 cm. So as you all know, I'm using an average size measurement, so I go down by 7.5. Okay,
Now, which other measurement do we have to mark out? Now, remember over here, we have our waistline, which we extended from all the way from the back bodies to the front bodies. Yes, the waistline was extended. Okay. Now, the next measurement we are going to get is our bust line. We don't measure out from point O, no. What we do is that we extend our bust line from the back bodies all the way to the front. So I place my ruler at this tip of the bust line and extend out to the front. Okay. So I use my long ruler to draw out the back bodies bust line all the way to the front bodies. Okay. So now we have our bust line and we also have our waistline. Now the next measurement we are going to point out is our hip point. And remember, hip point is always 22 cm from the waistline. It's a constant, guys. Constant of 22 cm from the waistline. Okay. So I place my ruler over here and mark out 22 cm constant to get our hip point. Okay. Now, as you all know, it's to get our hip points, we do 22 cm from our waistline, okay? I will mark out our hip point. The next thing we do is to label our lines. Please, guys, always label your lines so you don't end up being confused. So over here, I will be labeling here as our waistline. Then over here as our bust line. So please always label your lines. It's very important so you don't get confused. So guys, let's go through all what we've done so far. So I said from our point O, we go down with a constant of 4.5 or go down by 4 cm depending on your size. Then also we go down with another constant of 7.5 cm or 8 depending on your size. So over here, we got our bust line by extending our bust line all the way from our back bodies to our front bodies. Okay, same as the waist, we extended from the back bodies to the front bodies. And as you all know, our hip point is 22 cm constant from the waist. Okay, so hope everyone understands to this point. Okay, so we're going to be getting our extended lines. Now the first extended line is over here at this 4.5 point. We're going to extend it by 16.5 cm constant, guys. Is a constant. We're going to be extending this 4.5, extending it with 16.5 cm. Okay, so I place my ruler, mark and draw out. Okay, 16.5 cm. Now the next extended line is on our 7.5 cm. So the extended line on this point is going to help us get our neck width. Okay, yes. So how do we get our extended line? We'll refer back to the back bodies. Okay, now you can check on your Natalie Bray'S table under the column of back neck width, or you just place your ruler over here at this line of the back neck and measure out what you got. You see, I'm placing my ruler out here and I got 7.5 cm. So I go over to the front again and place my ruler over here at this point. Remember, I got 7.5 cm. Now place my ruler over here and mark out 7.5 cm and draw out. Now I'm going to be labeling over here as our neck width. Remember, guys, I told you always label. So here is going to be our what? Our neck width. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. At this point, I didn't realize my camera stopped recording. I know some of you will be surprised to see extra lines such as the chest line. So every front bodies needs a chest line, just like how our back bodies has a back line. So we got our chest line by going up with a constant of 4 cm. Yes, we'll go up with the constant of 4 cm from our bust line. Okay, you place your ruler like this and mark out 4 cm and draw out. So as I said, to get chest line, it is a constant of 4 cm from bust line to get our chest line. Okay, now to this side over here, how we got this box like figure. What I did was that the measurements I got on my neck width, okay, 7.5 cm, I also measured it out on our point O, 7.5 cm. Okay, I'll say it again. The 7.5 we got on neck width, we marked it out on our point O. So I would merge up the lines with my ruler. I'll place it up and merge up the line, our neck width to our point O. And this line here, this box here, helps us to get a perfect shape for our front bodice. And over here, we would measure this point as our NP, which is called our neck point. So we have our neck width and our neck point. Yeah. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is to connect this NP to this protruded line. I'm just going to connect it randomly, okay, without no accurate measurement. So I place my ruler here on NP, and I just draw out a random line, no accurate measurement, okay. What are we going to do next is to create the shoulder dart. But before then, we're going to say chest divided by 4. So my chest is 38 divided by 4. I'm going to be having what? 9.5, okay? But this measurement isn't going to be on the chest. It's going to be measured on our, it's not going to be measured on the chest at all. It's going to be measured on our point O and also on our bust line, okay? And we don't measure at all on the chest. So I place my ruler on point O and measure out 9.5, mark it out. I'll place again on the bust line, measure out 9.5 and mark it out. Then I connect them, these 2 points now, together. Not with a straight line, but with a dotted line. I'll connect with a what? A dotted line. So I place my ruler and I dot it down. Okay, just like this. Nice. Now, another thing to do is that on our bust line, we're going to extend the line by a constant of 2 cm, please. We're going to extend this dotted line on the bust line by 2 cm constant, okay? So I place my ruler and I'll mark out 2 cm constant and draw just like that. And I'll label here. This new place becomes our point D. Our what? Our point D, okay? So here becomes our what? Our point D, okay? Now, the next thing to do is to go in from this dotted line. We'll go in by 2 cm constant, please, guys. 2 cm what? Constant from this dotted line. We'll go in like that. You place your ruler here and measure out 2 cm. So I place my ruler and I'll mark out 2 cm constant. And I'll connect down to the point D. So place our ruler and match up the lines from that 2 cm constant to our point D, okay? So the next thing to do is to measure our dart. Yes, so you go back to your Natalie Bray'S table. Under the column dart, you get your dart from there. Mine is 8.5 cm. So I place my ruler on the 2 cm constant, guys, please. I'll place my ruler on the 2 cm constant, not the dotted line. On this 2 cm constant we just drew out, I'll place my ruler and I'll mark out 8.5 cm, okay, just like that. Then I'll connect it all the way to point D again. So I'll place my ruler and I'll draw out just like this. So the next thing we do is to go back to this our slanted line to get the accurate measurement, and which is shoulder line plus dart. Remember we said if we go back to our table, under the column dart, you search under the column dart, my dart is 8.5, and also refer to the table under the column of shoulder. My shoulder under the column is 13 cm. So we say 13 cm plus 8.5, which is equals to what? 21.5 cm. Okay, so we have to measure it out from this NP all the way to the slanted line. So I place my ruler on this NP to measure out 21.5 cm, just like that. Now, this is my 21.5 cm here. Remember I said shoulder plus that, which gave me this, my 21.5 cm. Please, the table is always important. Always refer to the table to get your correct dart and your correct shoulder line. We can remember well, our slanted line was drawn out randomly, but now it now has an accurate measurement of 21.5, okay?
So we go over here on our chest line to get our chest measurement. How do we get our accurate chest measurement? You know, the chest line isn't just a random line that we just draw out. It has an accurate measurement here. Okay. So how do we do that? How do we get the accurate measurement for chest? Chest, we say chest divided by 2 plus this inside of the darts from this 2 cm to our this dart line. This from this 2 cm, not the dotted line, please. From this line over to this line. Yes, we say chest plus divided by 2 plus this inner dart where my ruler is. And over here, I got 2.2 cm. So I'll write it out so I don't forget 2.2 cm. So I'll take the calculations again. I'll say chest divided by 2 plus what we have inside that 2.2. So my chest is 39 divided by 2 plus 2.2. I'll be having 21.2. So I'll mark out 21.2 on the chest line. Yes. So that's give us our accurate measurement for the chest line. Then we also do the same on our bust line. Our 21.2, we mark it out on the bust line. So I place my ruler over here and I mark out 21.2. Then we merge these 2 points together, please. Remember 21.2 on the chest and also on the bust line. So now we've joined these 2 points together. We also join this point to this point to this point together with our ruler. Okay, we'll join and rule out. Now this place over here, we're going to call it SP, meaning shoulder